Hey, what's up you guys? This is Ice Purple Oz here, and I'm doing another Redroom video. Now usually I do it in a corner over there, but because it's a lot cleaner, I'm trying it out over here, right next to a bunch of outlets, and then the door, so, okay. And today, I know I already did a Redroom video, but this is not a typical Redroom. I'm going to do a Redroom review of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, both for the Wii. Now, I'm gonna go, first of all, I'm gonna go with Twilight Princess because it came out before. And I'm just going to address what I don't like and what I do like. And then, like, what I'd, like, rate it out of, like, 100. So, this is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. You can tell by the red side thing that it's a Nintendo Select as well as a giant golden sticker. Now, Legend of Zelda is a lot better than Skyward Sword. Twilight Princess is a better critically acclaimed than Skyward Sword. And this is shown by, this is still in stores. This game was released with the Wii in 2006. This was the Wii's launch title 11 years ago, and it's still in stores. And that's a really good thing in general. Now, it says the biggest Zelda adventure of all time. And I have to agree with that. It's probably the biggest adventure. But that doesn't mean it's the best. With the way that they set up parts of the graphics, it ended up being really dull and dark and just drawing on. Like, the first 3 dungeons are barely memorable. Like, I remember all the dungeons in Twilight Princess. But the first 3 were so unmemorable. Like, it's not even, like, in Ocarina of Time, the first 3 dungeons are awesome. In Majora's Mask, there's like 4 temples. Like, I know they're not technically temples, but 4 main dungeons. And I just loved it. Good game handling. So, it's the biggest Zelda adventure by far. It's got the biggest world, it's got the biggest variety, but it's also really slow. And it's just overall unappealing towards me. Like, just a second. So, like, I ended up getting the game when I was 7, and I didn't really like it at first. Like, I really wanted it because we had a Wii, and I loved Ocarina of Time. And so I said, oh, I want to get Zelda games. Yeah, Zelda. And this was the first Zelda game that I owned. Twilight Princess for the Wii. I remember when I got this. This was the time when, oh, boys were like manly. Oh, we're so manly with our high-pitched voices. I can't even go that high anymore. But because this had Twilight in it, my friends just laughed. And it said princess, so they thought that it was going to be like, Oh, happy-go-lucky, what the fuck? Is this like My Little Pony and shit? And so, it just started off at an off place with me. It was like, oh, all my friends were making fun of me for it. But I ended up going home and I ended up playing it. And when I walked into Ordon Village, I skipped the first cutscene. Because, like, it was a party. We didn't want to watch cutscenes. And I instantly fell in love with Ordon Village. Like, I still have the theme for Ordon Village on my phone as my ringtone for many different people. Like, it's just so calming and soothing to me. And it started off a little bit iffy. It's like, I wasn't used to the Wii. This game is meant for teens. I'm not very coordinated as a person. That still remains true to this day. But this was my first Zelda game that I ever owned. And that's why when I look at the front cover, I don't see all the darkness. I don't see the red. I see the gold. I see the gold of back at my 7th birthday at a bowling alley. Harry Potter cake. I open this. It's just amazing. Now, I love this game to death. It's like, I joined a Boy Scout troop because of this game. Like, I made, like, one of my best friends to this day, Brandon. If it weren't for this game, I never would have been there. Like, it's a story for a different time, but this game has a lot of nostalgia for me. And I love it, but I'm gonna treat it as a critic would. It does have its fault. It's dull. Like, the beginning is dull. It's very drawn out. And it's just bland. Like, it doesn't have as much of the feel as a Zelda game. Like, there's a big open field in Twilight Princess. You could go to Kakariko Village, you could go to Lake Hylia, there's a bunch of awesome bridges everywhere. But the landscape is so boring, I have no incentive to explore it. Even with childlike win, it did not appeal to me. It was a boring field. It wasn't like in Ocarina of Time, like, it's got that awesome music, there's stuff everywhere. Like, it's amazing in Ocarina of Time. And then this one is just boring. And now, when I played it as a teenager, my opinion changed because it's meant for tea. And so, as a teenager, I actually started to understand more of what was going on. Oh, she's gone. Where did she go? Oh well. But as a teenager, I realized she's like a little sister. And all these kids are gone and their families miss them. Just plays your heart like a piano at some points. But I love Twilight Princess because of all the nostalgia. But overall, it's kind of a boring game. Like, the first few dungeons were very unmemorable. The Forest Temple, it's just like, it's got an okay theme. Spiders, wind, monkeys following you around, you a lantern. It's just not very appealing. Then the Goron one was just like, oh, lava, mines, use the iron boots and magnetism. That's really squeaky, like... Do you hear that? Ugh. Sorry, but this game's dungeons are very lacking. Like, later on the dungeons got great. Well, I wouldn't say great, but better. Like, all the dungeons are bland. They don't have as much wind to them as, like, Ocarina of Time and Skyward Sword. Like, this one, every Zelda game has a feel to it. And it can be summarized by the cover or the title theme, like the title. This is somewhat like gray and gold. Like, ignore the outside stuff, it's gray and gold. And not like a good gold, it's like a twilight gold. It's beautiful. Twilight is beautiful. But when it shines upon Link and Hyrule, it's just not the same. This game is gray to me. The whole game is gray. Just drones on and on and on. It's meant for teens. It's a gray game. Like, a lot of games are gray. Like, usually, the older you get, the more gray games become. And this captures the feeling perfectly. Growing up from Ocarina of Time, getting darker with Majora's Mask, losing interest with Wind Waker, getting what we wanted, but after all the Zelda, it's gone to gray. And that's all it is now. It's gray. The music in Ordon Village. That's my favorite thing about this game. It's the music from Ordon Village. Gameplay's okay. Like how it plays through is really slow. Story-wise, it's amazing. Like, story-wise, I'd give it, like, 92 out of 100. Gameplay-wise, I'd give it, like, an 87 out of 100. Music-wise, 90 out of 100. But this is gray. And that's what it'll always be. So, I ended up getting Twilight Princess as a 6-year-old, not 6-year-old, 7 or 8 years old. And I remember, like, playing it for a few weeks, losing interest, coming back multiple years later, playing again, losing interest. It took me 4 years to beat that game because of how boring it was. And I heard about Skyward Sword. I got Hyrule Historia from the library and all the manga, and I was just, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Zelda, fuck yeah. And I ended up getting the game from my brother. And I remember, like, the screen loading, just the chimes, then starting the Ballad of the Goddess, then being so off the game, I was almost crying. Then I continue on, goes through the strap, press A, the disc could not be read. It wouldn't read the disc no matter how much I tried and cleaned it. So my brother took it home, not home, back to the game store that he bought it from. And then he brought me home Epic Mickey 2. And so, this was after it came out. This is like 2013 when all that happened. So the game isn't at Walmart anymore. It wasn't in 2013. Skyward Sword was a critical failure. Critical, like critics. A lot of people didn't like it because of the motion controls. And I just loved it. I went through so much to get the game. This is the third copy I've owned, and this is the only copy that I've actually played. The second one, there's a huge, thing. I'm not gonna go into it, but it was stolen before I could play it. But when I earned enough money on, this was February 6th last year. I remember buying this game so that I could play it on Valentine's Day. And I may tear up because I love this game so much. It's so beautiful. I ended up waiting the week and I started playing the game. The familiar chimes ringed in, and all of the gray from Twilight Princess, it was gone. Just the cover shows the feeling. Pure gold, warmth, beauty. And I'm gonna cover my face because you guys don't want to see somebody crying. So, this one came with a CD, and it's the orchestrated one, and I'm in an orchestra, and so that hit really close to home. And I remember I started the game on that Valentine's Day. The girl that I liked said that she didn't want to go out. She's interested in somebody else. So I was sad. And I ended up getting a message from her right before I started playing the game. Hey, how's your Valentine's Day going? Mine's really going well. And I couldn't respond to it because I didn't know how to. So I put down my DS and I put it into the Wii U. I heard the familiar chimes for the second time on this copy, and I just burst into tears because this is an example of the hardships, like the emotional struggle that I had at that time. I thought my parents were gonna get divorced. Lost my best friend. Sister was in a car accident. Grandmother died. Rejected by the person that I thought I'd love. Then there's this beacon of light into my life. I didn't put the game down for 2 weeks. I beat it in 2 weeks, and Everything about it was just beautiful. Just so beautiful. Just leaving the Knights building into Skyloft. The music was so colorful. So much light, so much energy. It's just so beautiful. At the time, it gave me a reason to be happy. I was as depressed, had insomnia, I was anxious about everything. I didn't have any friends at the time. I'd spend all my lunches alone. I'd spend my weekends alone. And this golden case, it was used heavily before I got it, as you can tell by all the dents. But this, I just felt right with this game. It's my favorite game of all time. Has been since February 6th of last year. And it's just so beautiful to me. So full of life. I would leave Knight's building. There's Skyloft, there's people, there's animals, there's butterflies, so much sunlight, there's a beautiful sky in every direction. It was pure happiness. It kept me hooked for the 2 weeks that it took me to beat this. I still play it to this day. And I've got a lot of the soundtrack on my phone as ringtones as well. But just take a look. The mossy crest. The crest that was in Ocarina of Time that used to catch my eye when I was happy. This is how I felt. The moss was growing over, all that happiness was gone. And then, there's Skyward Sword right under Zelda. And there's gold all around it. It's happiness. And I just connected with the game. A lot of people didn't like it. It's thrown aside. And that's how I was at the time. Last year, the only time that I was happy at school was my 6th period, my English class. Every other moment I was silent. I was gray like Twilight Princess. But this year, after I started playing this, I was happy again, and so I ended up meeting new friends. The person who would sit in the corner of the classroom in my advisory. I decided I'd go talk to him. He ended up being one of the coolest people that I met. And then the girl that was in the class that I heard liked anime, but I was too shy and socially awkward to talk to. I couldn't talk to her. I cried, and I ended up just looking like a creep. And this year, after playing this game, I started talking to both of them. Now they're two of my best friends. And once this game came into my life, everything just flipped the switch. Everything was happy. I had friends. I had people to talk to. I had happiness. I had music that I could listen to, and I would feel it. Like most people, when they listen to music, they could feel some of the music that they have. And with me, I never found it. Like, I didn't feel the rock, I didn't feel country, Japanese, Korean, everything. But Skyward Sword, I felt the music. I felt the story. I felt the golden warmth of the cover. I've got to show you guys something real quick. This is the CD that came with it. And that's what I listened to. That's all I listened to for so long. And this, when I see the sky, I can't help but smile and get happy. This is the game that truly helped me in the worst of times. And that's why I can't rate it. I can't rate it fairly because I can't have the experience that everybody else had with this game. I can't go into this feeling judgmental towards it. Because that'd be like if Gabe and Izzy, they automatically went up to me and they started like, so what's your grades? What's your height? What's your body mass? How well do you move? Do you play any instruments? How well do you play it? If they did that, they wouldn't be my friends. They would just be people, acquaintances. And so I can't do that to this game. Anyways, guys, the video's running a little long, so I'm just gonna end this here. I love this game so much. I love this game too. This is a pretty great game, and I can't rate this one because of how much I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching.